Okay, so I also told you that I was going to tell you some of the conditions that need to be met for me to do a pie. Okay, one of the conditions, and probably one of the most important, is that the walls have to be ballistic. Okay, so when I was overseas in the Middle East, every wall was ballistic. I mean, I've never seen a non-ballistic wall unless it's something that we brought over there to, you know, maybe our talk was made out of or something like that. But every wall was ballistic, okay? So that is one major thing that has to be met. The number two thing is that, and it's not a 100% necessity like a ballistic wall, but it's pretty dang important. And that is another thing that I would do overseas, and is we would operate at night. So another advantage is inside the target building, it's dark, okay? We have night vision, so we're able to, if I was to do a pie in front of a door, ballistic wall, and I also am operating under the cover of darkness. So that's another pro, okay, and another condition that I would have to have for me to do this. And then the other one is overseas, I also have a different rules of engagement. So I'm able to use frag grenades, okay? In the States, you don't have that luxury, okay, as law enforcement officers or even civilians, okay? Well, you're not supposed to. I mean, God, I hope you would never do that. But because the walls are ballistic, okay, and because of the rules of engagement, if there was a situation where someone was doing, say, like a combat clear, which I'm not going to get into, it's just more or less a more rapid way of pieing a door before making entry. If something was to happen where somebody was to go down, okay, one of the things, an option now is that there could get, you know, you could throw in a frag to where you can eliminate a threat like that, or even just, you know, a violent flashbang in order to get your friendly out of the way and then deal with him or to carry on the mission, okay? So those right there are the main things that I would have to. So it'd have to be a ballistic wall. It'd have to be at night, and I'm using the cover of darkness with night vision, and also with the rules of engagement, being able to employ a grenade if I had to. Okay, and that. And also if I was by myself, okay? So I said there was 4. One of the other things is, you know, a one-man clear, which is the absolute worst thing you could ever do. But as a civilian or in your home or maybe in some extreme situation, you might have to. It's the worst thing you could ever do, but again, sometimes you have to do it. But in that case, because you're giving up so much, that maybe in that situation, by pieing the door using, just using that slow roll, that methodic clear, maybe that is an advantage in that situation, okay? But those are the only ways that I personally would recommend doing a pie.
And the only way we teach it to officers, the big paradigm shift in officer response to active shooters was Columbine. And the protocols then were to contain, call out, wait for SWAT. Since Columbine, it's run to the sound of the guns. You will have to make a single officer entry, and that's the only time that is taught. I'm certified through the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center as an active shooter threat response instructor, and we teach the pie only in that circumstance because you're one gun against one or many unknown threats. It's a technique and a tactic that, if done correctly, increases officer survival when they're operating alone. But once other officers get on scene and they start linking up, then it's dynamic entry from there. And part of that is predicated upon where we're going. A school or a hospital is built to a higher code than stick-built houses and such. You're going to have steel frame doors with steel cores. You're going to have ballistic walls with cinder block, fire-rated, everything. So these TTPs, tactics, techniques, and procedures are for a very limited scope to give that single responder an edge, the best edge they can have when they don't have any kind of